Greetings, YouTube. There is a meme floating around the internet at the moment, and it's all about men and bears. And essentially it is, would you rather have your daughter encounter a bear or a strange man in the forest? Which would you consider to be a greater risk to your daughter? Now they're couching it this way because they want the parental feelings to, pop up for people. So, it's very much appealing to people's emotional heartstrings kind of thing. And the vast majority of people are saying they'd rather encounter a bear. And I am amongst them. I got to tell you, the choice between a bear or a strange man in the forest, I'll take the bear. I can predict with great reliability what the bear is going to do. And I know that if I can't encounter a bear, it's going to be a black bear. And I know that the black bear is probably not going to pose me any danger at all. And I carry a whistle. And I can tell you right now, bears don't much like loud noises, particularly black bears. They are gun shy. So all I gotta do is blow that whistle, and it's an emergency whistle. It's really damn loud, and that bear is gonna decide he or she wants to be someplace other than the really loud location where I'm standing. I can't make that judgment call with the human. You don't know what that human's gonna do. You don't know what that human's intention is, even if that human looks like they're injured. Offering them assistance, which is the ethical thing to do, and I would be inclined to do so, still puts me and anyone else at risk because that could be a ruse. Ted Bundy lured people into assisting him with his car and then kidnapped and murdered them because he was wearing a fake cast on his arm. He looked harmless. He looked vulnerable. And he used that to his advantage. And let's be honest, in the vast majority of attacks of a human against a human, the perpetrator of that attack is a guy. Now, what's really fascinating is how many men have been really upset by this meme, man versus bear. They take it deeply personally. That how dare you say that about men? Some of them will throw out like, well, men get attacked too. I said, you're right. And then my question always is, who's doing the attacking? And that doesn't change the fact that would you rather have your daughter encounter a man or a bear? And almost everyone's going to say bear because your daughter has a better shot at surviving that encounter with a bear. Because again, we have predictable behaviors when it comes to bears. We don't have predictable behaviors when it comes to men. Men, humans in general, but men in specific, are the perpetrators of violence the world over. Violence against men, violence against women, violence against children, even violence against animals. Men are often the ones committing those crimes. That isn't bias on my part. That isn't, you know, I'm not a traitor to my gender or what have you. It's data. We know this. We've known it for decades, centuries. And it's all part of the whole toxic masculinity vibe. Whenever a man gets upset about this, though, you are just giving proof positive evidence of why you would want to trust the bear. If you are being driven to this level of frustration and anger by a hypothetical situation that has not happened and will probably never happen, you are the type of person that no one wants to be in the forest with. And you are the justification for this meme. You are becoming a living, breathing caricature. And a lot of these guys don't know they're doing it. Then again, a lot of men don't understand that they're participating in toxic masculinity. I know I didn't for most of my life. I never saw it from the perspective of somebody else. It was eye-opening when I found out how much defensive behaviors women put up with every single day just to survive. And that men are blithely ignorant of. Why? Because we can be. We just we don't think about it because we don't have to. whereas children and women have to think about it constantly. And then the weird thing is I was raised in an abusive household, so I knew paranoia. Of course, my paranoia was inside the house. So the outside world was safer for me than the inside world. So being out there in the forest, and I spent a lot of time alone out in the woods just to get away from my family, um, was a safer environment for me. Not to mention, I knew those woods were around my area like the back of my hand. I knew where every nook and cranny was. If someone had attempted to pursue me, and it happened a few times because you get drunk idiot teens with nothing else to do, they never got near me because I knew what I was doing, and they weren't smart enough to lay out an ambush. A lot of drunk teens aren't great at like complex stalking plans. But in our world, it makes more sense to be comfortable with the bear than the man. And if you're the type of guy that's going to get really upset over that hypothetical situation, you are the reason that people trust the bear and not the man.